Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another High Five, and I've got the team back together again. It's going to be a great morning. We're all three, Brian, Danny, and myself are here. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking a little bit about Juneteenth and the history of that, and a little bit about how important it is to keep the memories alive and the future positive as we move forward as this Black Lives Matter. We're going to talk a little bit about the Premier League. I'm not a huge soccer fan, but I'm really excited about this news that I saw yesterday about the Premier League, and then Father's Day. We've got to celebrate Father's Day. All on the High Five today. Let's go.
The time has come, the questions are set, opinions hide, discussions are led, a show about nothing and everything, it's all the same. We've got sports, entertainment, sales, and marketing. It's time for the High Five. We've got it all covered. It's time for the High Five. We've got it all covered. Yeah. The High Five.
The High Five, that's right. We're live here in Indianapolis, Indiana, but I've got two wonderful people that I'm bringing up right now on the left-hand side of your screen. Look at him dodging right on the right-hand side of the screen. On the left-hand side, he's back. He wasn't with us on Tuesday. We had a great episode. I've had several really great compliments. Thank you for that. For Danny and all, he's talking about how you can grow your portfolio. But Brian Linke brings the wisdom, the energy, and the power of coaching. And now he is the king of summer. Mr. Brian Linke, how are you, sir?
I'm great, Nate. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I missed you guys on Tuesday, but survived it, and I'm back ready to go.
And on the right-hand side of the screen, the man, the myth, the legend, and the one who somehow I missed, but when scrolling and falling into my melatonin sleep at 8:20 last night through Facebook, I saw a share from Vicky Helm saying that Danny Shard got an ace this weekend, and he had not told me. What the freak, Danny Shard, how are you?
Told me.
You're muted, Danny.
Why do I always do that? I'm good, Nate. Happy Friday. Yeah, Brian, you were missed. I did get an ace last weekend. It was pretty exciting.
Oh, that is awesome. I am so pumped about that. That is man, you just can't.
It was my it was in a tournament. It's my third hole in one, and it was uphill, so I couldn't see it go in. It just slam dunked, and we heard it, but we didn't know it went in. So I've been given a lot of trash for my lack of celebration because I didn't celebrate because I didn't know it went in. So I promise to do better on my celebration the next time I get a hole in one, if that happens.
Well, I think this will be a great way to celebrate when we get together later this year and go golfing. I just booked some golfing in 2 weeks to get ready for whenever I get this Brian Linke tournament on. I'm taking my son out golfing in Florida. Hopefully to see some NBA players who are allowed to be golfing while I'm there, and not embarrass myself solely. But I have a foursome. We're going golfing.
You better practice a lot, Nate.
I'm going to. All right. So today we are going to talk about lots of different things. But let me bring up the first one. Today I'm going to be really transparent. And I was talking to Danny. Danny had heard of it. I somehow in my history training growing up in small Midwestern Indiana, we did not learn about Juneteenth. And so yesterday and today I've done a deep dive and kind of learning more about it. I'd heard about it a couple months ago, and we're here to celebrate Juneteenth today. And what a story to be able to talk about the freeing of the slaves and how for 2 years after the emancipation, those in South Texas had never heard that they were freed. And the joy and the journey of a general who got to come to South Texas in 1865 and celebrate and say, "You are free." And it reminded me of several quotes. And the person I'm going to give that shared these quotes with me is going to be my hero of the week later. So I'm not going to share who these are, but none of these quotes I find, but I saw these last night, and I'm going to share these. 2 quotes by James Baldwin I thought that were poignant at this time. "It is certain in any case that ignorance allied with power is the most ferocious enemy justice can have." And I thought that the ignorance allied with power, that's why I want to make sure that my ignorance is never that, and that it never pays to any power that is given to that ignorance. And not everything that is faced can be changed. This is a good reminder, but nothing can be changed until it's faced. And I thought it so well. My friend who shared this that I'll highlight later as my hero, wrote these words on her Facebook page. We have an obligation to face the truth of our country's past, face the truth of our country's present, and work to make it right. And we can't quit until the things that are truly fair for every person in this country and every person in this country is truly free. And it reminds me that this is a journey that probably may not have an end in my lifetime. How amazing would that be? But the fight cannot change and should not change. Brian and Danny, I don't want to spend a huge amount of time, though, whatever time we need to talk about this. But I know when we celebrate holidays like this, and a lot of places are giving the day off, giving everyone, making this more, it's not a federally related holiday, but now the workplaces are giving it. What a great celebration to when one wrong was righted, but there are many wrongs that still need to be righted and have been righted since. What are some of your thoughts as we enter Juneteenth on the June 19th here in 2020?
One of the things that I, because again, Nate, I had never heard of it either. I'm sure Danny has, being from Texas, but I noticed that one of the traditions was to sing a song, and that song, "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot." So
yeah, that's a great song, coming to take you home, and it's a great song to give Brian Linke and his sweet mic that we give him, those sweet sounds that he can have. Danny, growing up in Texas, where obviously we were celebrating that first event in Galveston in 1865, was this something that was taught in your schools, or what was the celebration? Because I know it's been a state holiday. I forget the date. I should remember that, for a long time in Texas.
It has, yeah, and actually we. One of the classes that we took is, Texas history. Texas has a unique way of showing more pride in its state than any other state in the country. So I don't know if you guys had Indiana history class whenever you were in school, but we had Texas history. So this was a big part of it. Juneteenth is a huge day, and it's something that everybody should know about.
Well, and I think yeah, we did have Indiana History Day, and it was not history.
This was like a class.
We had a class. Fourth grade was Indiana History, and we went through it. But really, it was it wasn't. Yeah, it was cool, but it's not Texas. I realize. I mean, every time I go to Texas and I get to go to some of the Texas places of history, you guys take it for serious, and thankfully have kept this memory. And that's important, to keep the memories alive of what is past. Because when I was saying this in our pre-show as we were talking, when we forget the wrongs that were made in the generations before us that are related to us, and we forget, it will happen again, and it may happen again no matter what. But if we forget, it will sure repeat itself, and we have to keep putting that in front of everyone. And Brian, as our elder statesman, you have spent more of the history of this, been alive from MLK to here. When you read about Juneteenth for the first time, I think how sad that we forgot to celebrate when a group of people were freed, and we forget that the Emancipation Proclamation in 1963 and January 1st. It didn't truly free people when the Civil War ended, and it didn't really free people even in 1865 for a long time, and still were fighting with slavery. When you look back at that in the history, what are some of the things that you remember that are the memories of these are, let's call them fence posts of us making progress, as we have, as Pat McAfee would say, 3 old whites on the screen, and you're the oldest of the old whites.
The thing of it is, I mean, have we really made progress though? I mean, like with what's going on right now, it's almost, well, first of all, I mean, it's sad. I mean, it's just a sad thing that you'd think that we, in the year 2020, that we're still dealing with racism and things of that nature, and it's not stopping. I don't, it's, you would think that after the George Floyd thing that people would learn, and then you hear the thing that happened down in Atlanta, and it's just sickening to me that we still live in a world where racism is alive and well. I mean, I mean, there's no doubt about it. And again, and I've been having many conversations with. I just adopted an African American son, and he and I spend a lot of time. He struggles hearing, so it's a little bit difficult at times to talk to him, but we're spending a lot of time on it, just because it's and again, I have a hard time believing that it's going to end in my lifetime, Nate. I don't know about yours or Danny's because you're so, you're so young, but it's just a sad thing. And, there's so many movies made about it, and you think that that those things aren't real, Roots and the color purple. And, there's actually on Amazon Prime Video, if you go to Amazon Prime Video, the list of movies along the top all have to do with racism, every single one of them. And, it's just a sad thing, I think.
Well, I think it's just something that has to, we've got to keep remembering, and we have made some progress. There are laws that are being implemented. I think certainly the voices that need to be heard, and I was listening about, after Rodney King, almost 30 years ago, and the movement of Juneteenth was very popular then. I was much younger then. But there are fence posts that we have to mark as progress and keep moving forward. And at Pay Protect and at the High Five, and of the heart of these gentlemen is that we're going to keep moving forward. We're going to keep this voice heard. We're also going to make sure that we keep doing what we do. And so I didn't really know a good transition to anything out of here. So I'm just going to fade to black for a second. After that, we're going to come back up and pretend that was a smooth transition. Because there's no real smooth transition to going to English Premier League soccer. But that this yesterday made my day. And I don't know if I told those guys, I have these, I think about what's going to happen. How are things going to be consumed all the time? And I was thinking about this when it came out. English Premier League is going to have 3 games at least that Amazon has the rights to, and they're putting it on Amazon Prime Video. So if you pay for that, you can go to your Prime Video. You'll see the live stream. They already have been doing some sports there. They've done the NFL there in the past. But this time they're taking those 3 games and moving them over to their Twitch platform, which if you've been with Paul Kent, we've talked about that, where this is really a gaming platform as a whole, but they have all kinds, they have cooking and painting videos and all tech videos and all kinds of stuff and live streaming. But they also have this little feature that you can give permission for someone to take your stream, play it on their stream, and then create like a Mystery Science 3000, do the voiceover, you don't have to bring the audio up and talk through it. They're allowing that with the English Premier League soccer. And I can't think how much better if you start having sports where Brian Linke could be the play-by-play or commentary going on. I just thought this was fascinating. Gentlemen, what do you think about this? That we could actually have broadcast sports. I don't know when they'll agree because people have to give up the brand. But I think this is the future of how sports are consumed. You can choose yourself who you want to listen to, and the rights all go back to the soccer federation or whoever is promoting. But we can choose who we want to listen to when we're watching a game. Isn't that like the best of all worlds?
So I'll tell you. Wait a minute. So does that mean like we get to do the broadcast?
That is a possibility. In fact, if we knew anything about soccer, I'd say let's try it. But I would totally embarrass myself personally. So if you can do that, but yes, on this English Premier League, you can actually pull up the Twitch stream and click Let's Game with us, what it's called. And the stream of the game will be going behind you, and you can just voice over literally what's going on and talk it through game by game and commentary. Could you imagine doing that for NFL or NBA?
Well, NFL and NBA, but the soccer league thing, okay. I mean, I don't know any of the players.
Yeah.
Okay, the guy in the yellow shoes. Okay, nice shot by him.
Yeah. And my point is, I'm not saying soccer, but I think if the NFL and the NBA do this, I mean, this is the first time to be able to put that on there where we can just take the content and then share it with our friends. It's kind of a let's watch it. Netflix and Hulu have been doing that, where you can, I haven't tested it, I've been meaning to, where you can like watch a show together and share a chat. And YouTube has that, and Facebook has the Facebook Watch Party, where you can all kind of watch things together. But this is where we could actually say, hey, you can watch the NFL over on CBS, NBC, ABC, or you can come over here to Twitch or wherever else somebody may do this and watch the NFL with me and hear what Brian Linke has to say. I think that's a pretty cool option.
Let me give you a little fun fact here. They've actually asked me, and I've done it before over at Warsaw High School, to do the announcing at a lot of the JV football games. And one of my claims to fame is I was asked at halftime by the officiating crew to either change my tone or I have to leave, or I had to leave, and I just told them, okay, with as bad as officiating is what's going on here, I'm leaving, and I left. I was announcing
JV game.
Okay, they would. I remember one call. Okay, they made a call, and like it was like they got together and they were talking, and I'm like, it looks like a do-over is taking place down there. I think it's a do-over. Haven't had one of those in a while, and like the guy actually came up at halftime and told me that I had to change, and that was just one little thing. And I just looked at him and I said, you know what? As bad as you are, I can't do it, and I left.
Oh man, that is epic. I will say in college, I did the commentary of the Grace College basketball games on WRSW 1480 back in the day, and I was given the college commentary. And that was my guy, Brian, you may know him, Jason Knavel. Did you ever know Jason? He was the SID at Grace for a while. And he worked for the Times Union for a while. Now he's the SID over at Bowling Green, last I knew. Don't quote me on that, Jason. I know we're still friends on Facebook. I think he's still over at Bowling Green State University. But we used to do the games. I had a blast doing that, and I've always dreamed, like, I don't want to do the play-by-play because I'm too much squirrel. I'd be like, all over. But getting to do the commentary, now I will say, when you're a fan of that team, but it could make it even more fun because that's what you want sometimes. That's what I always am trying to figure out, how to get the Cubs radio synced up with the TV, because I love the radio guys. And like here would be a way to get some of these commentators that I'd love to listen to, and I'm pulling up on Twitter during the game and watch live what's going on. I just think it's. Let me tell you something. Something even better than that is when one of your kids is playing out there. You want to talk about biased? Okay, trust me.
I just wish we had this option when John Madden was announcing, because I'd love nothing more than to mute John Madden. In fact, that's what I used to do, is mute John Madden. So I would listen to Brian Linke, preferably like Pat McAfee. I think he'd be awesome to listen to. Subscribe to his channel on any sports he's announcing. Even Bob Meneroy, more than John Madden. So
oh man, I love it. Yeah, I mean, I just think this is a fun thing. I think it's the future of the way sports could be. It's a long way because the rights holders, because ABC, NBC, the sport, and the reason, thank you BBC, the reason this is happening is because English Premier League was forced by the government of Britain to put it on BBC, which then gave it to Amazon and made it so it's possible that it's going to Twitch. And it's just interesting. I mean, English Premier League, one of the largest sports. I realize I can name no one. Playing actively.
Is Pele still playing?
I know. I'm not sure. I think he's still out there somewhere. I'm pretty sure. So, but all that. All right, let's move on to. We have three more things to talk about, but today I just wanted to share. We're going to do two different times talking about Father's Day, but today I wanted to talk a little bit about fathers' memories. And I know all of us have great relationships, and I know that's not always true with our fathers. And Brian's father has passed. And we tell stories, and I thought it'd be a good time to create some stories and some memories of that. I'll go first. I was thinking for my dad, and I remember, and this still stands out. You think all the stories. There's so many things. Like one of my closest memories. I had an opportunity to be in Boston with him a couple years ago, and just walking through and seeing all the history of both of us, just Old North Church and stuff. That was awesome. But I remember in first grade, my dad, who was a college professor, took a sabbatical. He moved the whole family to Richmond, Virginia, so he could do postdoctorate training. And while he was doing that, what you do is you literally. You cut your salary in half so you can take the whole year off. So he's paid half salary, and he does. And I remember that year because I was a first grader, and my dad kind of became my mom, and my mom took a full-time job to make all this work, and which was awesome too. And he would pick me up and take me to school every day and take me all the activities and be at everything. And it was that great base. And I think about that with my kids. I've never been able to, but he was able to like totally have the most flexible schedule in the world. And it was what happened to be when I was in first grade, and he did it, and he humbled himself. He'd never been the cook in the family. We were living on very little money that year. I never knew that difference. I look back now and I like, oh, that's why we didn't have beds and just mattresses on the floor. I didn't know. I was in first grade. They made life incredible. We got to go to DC, and we lived in Richmond, Virginia, and go to Williamsburg. And he just, he became every day he was cooking new meals for dinner, and I didn't think anything of it. And I look back and I go, wow, what an opportunity as a dad to he humbled himself to do things that he had never done before, to put himself on the line for it, and then just took care of the family, while at the same time moving his career along and doing a year of research, and which really set him up for the future and eventually some of his future career goals. But that was one of the stories and memories for me, and I love my dad, and I will say that. Happy Father's Day to my dad. Gentlemen, I'll let you go. I'll let you choose who wants to go next and tell a story in the memory of their dads.
Dan?
I'll go. So my, my dad, he lives in Texas. He's still in Houston, and he actually graduated from Texas A&M with a electrical engineering degree, and he went to go work for Schlumberger, and in '93 realized that wasn't for him, and decided to go into the used car business, and has owned his own used car lot for almost 30 years now. So he's been really successful with that, but it was cool. I was younger whenever he made that jump, and it was a huge leap for him. I think one of my best memories of my dad is with me and my brother, him coming to Colorado and going skiing with us every year. That's a cool thing that I'm going to cherish forever. And he turned 60 this year. So he's still active, and he's still coming skiing. And my brother and I, as crazy as we are, we're still getting him on the hill, stop by, have a couple of beers, and we'll go skiing some more. And he can't quite do it as good as he used to, but he's still there. So we're going to keep pushing him.
That's awesome. It was a privilege. About a year ago, July. I got to meet your dad, and we were in Houston together, all having some Mexican food, and then going to an Astros game together. What a privilege it is to be able to be friends and work together and meet each other's parents. Brian Linke, I obviously did not meet your dad, but I've heard stories before. I'm interested in what you're going to choose for stories of your dad.
This is an interesting topic because. And I don't think I've ever shared this with anybody other than my wife. But when I was 8 years old, my brother was 6, and we were living in New York City. My dad used to take us to a doubleheader. This was back in the day when they played doubleheaders. A doubleheader to either Yankee Stadium or Shea Stadium, where the Mets played every year. And he used to take. He used to go by like the New York Times, and we'd spend 8 hours. At one of the doubleheaders wherever it was. And then when we moved to Florida, when I was going into the 7th grade, we kept up the tradition, and we flew to New York every summer on Father's Day, and he took us to the doubleheader until they stopped playing doubleheaders on Father's Day, and then we used to fly to New York and go to either a Yankee game or a Met game every single year on Father's Day.
Wow, that is awesome. Those are the memories that are made, and I think all of us as dads, Brian, your kids are a little bit older than our kids are. But I always love those postings at this time of year. It's best dad ever, and I'm like, the thing is, I surround myself with a lot of best dad ever, and it's just none of us are perfect, and all of us are striving. And Danny, you're at the younger, just getting and building your family. My kids are right smack dab in the middle, and Brian just keeps delaying his empty nest syndrome, and maybe, who knows, maybe he'll have another one here. So
okay, Nate, no, I won't.
He's got a big heart.
It does. All right, we'll talk a little bit more about Father's Day in a moment, but let me. We do this on Fridays. We talk about the hero of the week and those who we want to celebrate. And for me this week, I wanted to. Celebrate who I've been reading someone. I've actually never met her. She married. I may have met her a little bit because I think I may have met her a couple times because they were dating. But her husband was a classmate of mine back in college, Gabe, and her name's Marla Caviano, and she's an author and writer and just moved back from Cambodia. And I've been reading her posts as things about Black Lives Matter, lives in South Carolina. I've never even commented, but they've been inspiring to me. And it's those people who stand up for injustice, who are constantly learning, And she has an Instagram feed called, I think it's White Girl Learns. I should have looked up the exact one because I follow it all the time. She's just talking about how she's learning of growing up in small town Ohio to grow outside and understand and see the world the way she wants to see it. And so as we celebrate this, I was saying my hero that I wanted to celebrate was Marla Taviano. I'm going to let Brian Linke go next, then Danny. Brian, who is your hero this week? Someone who, because everyone, big and small, who is your hero this week?
Well, there's a hero of mine that I've never really, I don't think, talked to too many people about, but the lady's name is Wanda Butts, and she has a nonprofit organization called the Josh Project, and what it is, it's her son drowned in an accident on a lake when he was a teenager, and so she's got she started this project called the Josh Project. It's to and it's for minorities because and here's something that I didn't realize that between the ages of 5 and 14, drowning accidents are 3 times as high for minorities than they are for non-minorities, and I just thought that was a staggering number. And obviously, the reason why is they just don't get the chance to, right? People don't I guess teach kids how to swim at that age, but and I was a big swimmer growing up and as a kid, and I just kind of like latched onto this years ago, and I send money to the Josh Project every single year, and she's an amazing woman to be able to do that, knowing that her son drowned in it was a tragic accident.
Wow, that's a cool story. And I know that talked to several people about the importance of the opportunity for everyone to swim. And there's historical reasons that, we don't need to go into right now, but of reasons why African Americans weren't even taught to swim and didn't learn to swim. And it's been and so how awesome is that to be able to continue that. Danny, your hero this week?
Well, what a story.
Yeah.
And actually my wife and I just happened to watch a video the other day of a lady teaching her infant child that was like 6 months old how to swim.
Right.
And it gave me a heart attack watching this. Right. I mean, there's no chance I could do what she's done. So, Brian, that's a good story, man. Mine's a little more closer to home. I would be naive to say that my hero this week and probably every week here moving forward until mid-October is going to be my wife. Seeing what women go through in pregnancy and the changes with their bodies and the pains and everything they're feeling is absolutely amazing, right? And
I couldn't do it.
Okay, to say I appreciate her and value her is just an incredible understatement. What she's doing right now is nothing short of a miracle. So I've got to say my wife. I do want to add work related though. I've got to have a little hero this week of someone that works close with us, and actually her office is right across from Mr. Brian Linke, and that would be Jen Sales. Her positivity is awesome, right? Wow. Okay, so she is next level with the positivity. In fact, she posted on Facebook this morning, and it said, "Good morning, spread the word, turn off the news, put down the social media, and find yourself with your family and friends this weekend. Pull yourself away from the small percentage of people causing complete nonsense in this world. Wake up tomorrow, drink your cup of coffee outside, look up, say a prayer, reset your mind, then call some friends and family over and laugh, play games, and reset. Have a great Friday and weekend." Like, that positivity, I think, is something we all need, especially with what's going on in this world. And Jen is just so busy with work and got a big family and a lot that she's doing on her plate. And so her positivity is contagious. So she's my hero this week as well.
Wow.
I love it. Great job, guys. As we close out this week, let's a little bit of happy Father's Day to all of our partners. We did it on Mother's Day. I love these holidays that celebrate our roles and celebrate all of our goods and bads and all that goes into it. But all of us, have fathers, and a lot of our partners are fathers. So as we jump into that, gentlemen, what are some of your words of encouragement and celebration of the fathers that only we get to serve as part of the Payprotech family, but all fathers in general, as we celebrate Father's Day? And then let's talk, what are our plans this weekend as we're all dads and then celebrating our dads? Who's going?
Ian?
Right.
I mean, I guess the message on Father's Day is, and again, I grew up in a family where, my dad was very involved. My mom and dad were married for 38 years before he passed away. And so my relationship with him was really, really, really close. And it remains that with my kids. I just, and I hear a lot of stories, right? And I think everybody does of dads that are non-existent. They don't exist. Nobody knows where they are, and they're not part of the family. So I just think that as a dad, as a father, I think you just just have to feel just fortunate to be where we are. And again, I've surrounded myself with a lot of people who are amazing dads, and the two of you are right there, Nate. I mean, you with I don't know what your basketball team of kids, and Dana's got one on the way, and and I know your kids mean everything to you, and that means a lot to me. So it's just kind of a contagious thing.
It is.
So, and this weekend, my younger son, who actually just graduated from Indiana University and accepted a job in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We are moving him. He's renting an apartment in Fort Wayne, and this was his first week of work, and he's made it through to this point, which is woohoo! It was give and take there for a while, but we're
big.
We're here, and he moves into his apartment, so we're going to get him moved in. And for the 4th of July, my older son in San Francisco and his fiance are flying in, and we've got a lot going on at the Linky house.
I think back to what you mentioned before about surrounding yourself with people that are good dads, and no one's perfect. We all have the ins and outs, but how awesome is it we get to work with people and be around people that are good dads, and that's their focus. And I appreciate you said I have a basketball team of kids. Not quite. I have the Let's Play with Four Hoosiers reference basketball kids. I don't have the 5th yet, or ever. But I can play with 4.
Well, the best scrimmages in elementary school are 4-on-4.
That's true. That is true.
5-on-5. I scrimmage 4-on-4 because it's chaos with 5-on-5. So go with the 4.
Absolutely. All right, Danny, all yours.
I don't know if this is coming from Matt Hoskins or what, but it seems like every time, or it could be my wife's pregnant emotions like coming out of me, but every time we tend to talk about kids, I get a little choked up. So, this weekend, actually, I was invited to go on a really big golf trip on the other side of Colorado at a prestigious golf course with 8 guys. And, it's 6 hours away. We would have left last night, played golf all day today, all day Saturday, in the morning on Sunday, drove back home, be at home in time for dinner. And I didn't want to do that, right? I wanted to spend this weekend with my family, and I know they wanted to hang out with me as well. So the guys that were all going, every one of them are dads, and they're like, well, you should go. This is your weekend, right? This is your holiday. And I'm like, yeah, but I want to spend it with my family, not with you scumbags. So it's obviously I'm a new dad. I've got a 3-year-old, but he was born in June. So this is my 3rd Father's Day, one on the way. And so I'm still embracing a holiday where, I'm being recognized as being a dad, but it's an amazing feeling and I love it.
I love it too. And for me, I'll be celebrating Father's Day. Danny, I'd be interested in how you, with my family, with a cookout just like you. I'm going to guess you're going to be doing a cookout. I'd be shocked if you weren't, but I could be wrong.
Ribs this Sunday at the Chariot household. I'll be sending pictures.
I look forward to seeing that. We're doing some Wagyu, as I do, hot dogs and hamburgers on the grill, and doing that with my brother-in-law so we can celebrate it. And nephew-in-law, is that what you call it? I'm not sure. They have their second on the way, and so we're celebrating. It's great to be with dads. Hopefully the weather will hold here. It's a little, 50% chance of rain, but it's going to be a good weekend. It's a great time to be together. All right, gentlemen, as we close up another week, here's what I remember is we are right now 2 weeks from the Friday before the 4th of July. And I love the idea in my mind. This works really well for me, getting into sprints. For me, I'm 1 week from leaving on some vacation from Sunday. And so you get these sprints, you're trying to get as much possibly done as possible. We've got 2 weeks till the 4th of July when we can take a break. So let's hustle, let's go. Brian Lincoln, what do you say as we look to drive our partners, as we look to drive our team and those who may be joining to us to get ready to take that next break of the 4th of July? How can we get motivated and get energized to get there?
Well, again, all I can do is speak from the PayPro Tech as a whole, and and I look at the deal count every single day, and Danny does a great job of keeping us informed and letting us know. I am telling you right now, we haven't missed a beat of PayPro Tech. So any of the agents that are listening right now, if you're not excited about working here, we got it going on here. You hear about all these other companies that are going to close the doors, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Okay, we're headed. We took like a small little bit of a dip, but it wasn't even anything to. It didn't even. It's not a blip on the radar. It really wasn't even much. And now we're starting to kill it again. And if you're a sales agent, you're a partner. This is a great time to work for this company. And as things open up even more, we're getting even more excited about it.
All right, Danny Shard, what say you as we get excited for this last 2 weeks before our big break in the middle of summer?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with what Brian's saying. Obviously, June has been an amazing kind of, restart, if you will, like turn the light switch back on. I know that there's still a lot of uncertainty and, not everybody's open, even close to 100% capacity, but volume is skyrocketing, merchants are responding, cash discounting, POS systems, contactless, even the PPE, our PPE packages are going out. We're already hearing from merchants about that. So just a lot of excitement going on. And to all the dads out there, finish out the week strong. Go close a deal before Father's Day and finish the week with a bang.
All right, on that, as we finish up here, let's do it the only way we know how. With our theme song as we go out. Everybody, we love hanging out with you. We love connecting with you. Hope everybody has a great Father's Day, an incredible weekend, and let's go get it the next 2 weeks. There are merchants that need the help. They need the cash discounts. They need new hardware. They need that support from great merchant service sales and POS salesperson to get going. Everybody high five everybody, and everybody have a great weekend. We love you, and we'll see you soon. High five next week on Monday. We'll see you there.